2026 coming soon, and romance anime's cooking hard. We got some old classics coming back and some promising new ones. So here are the 10 most awaited romance anime of 2026 you must watch. Let's go! We had angels some time ago, so why not move to demons? Kanan, an ancient demon craving the souls of humans, descends to the human world disguised as a high school girl. Her first target is Yoji Kyogi, a clueless boy who seems like easy prey. However, things go sideways when, instead of devouring him, she ends up entering a romantic contract with him. Now, Kanan, who's been around for centuries, has to navigate the madness of high school romance. I'm pretty sure this is going to be way more fun to watch because it's about a demon figuring out human romance. It's gonna be like a gender-swapping version of Lucifer. Watching Kanan awkwardly wrestle with emotions she's never felt before is gonna be a blast. And the way the show plays with common rom-com tropes but flips them with a demon struggling to understand love will keep everything fresh. The trailer hooked me, so I'm looking forward to this anime.
人に合わせたりしないね、谷くん。
いや、知らないよ。
また切られた。なんかそういうのめちゃくちゃ憧れる。正直大好きです。
Miyu Suzuki, a bubbly high schooler, shares a row with Yusuke Tani, a quiet no-nonsense guy. Their chats are short and random. Suzuki asks quirky questions, Tani drops blunt answers. But behind those simple talks, there is love. Suzuki is all about keeping her crush under wraps, worried about what everyone thinks, while Tani just rolls with being himself, not caring about fitting in. Then a little mix-up pushes Suzuki to spill her feelings, and surprise, they're mutual. There is only one way for a new romance anime to catch my eye these days: the characters. And from the looks of the trailer, that has fun and bubbly cast that can hook you right in. Both Suzuki and Tani feel like the perfect protagonists because they have these little quirks that make them likable, like Suzuki's awkwardness and Tani's emotionless responses. The manga this is based on is pretty popular too, so I'm giving this a go.
もう一人私邪魔をするなら今ここであなたも殺す。私のプロデューサーになってください。
人さえいてくれれば俺はよかった。
I know, this anime only uses romance as a subplot, but how can I ignore this when Siesta's in it? There are romance anime that get popular because of the plot, and others because of the girls. This belongs to the second group. This is about Kimihiko Kimizuka, a guy who gets dragged on by a detective called Siesta to solve mysteries around the world. The original detective is already dead, was hyped up to be a pretty refreshing detective show, but it turned out to be an airplane that is about to crash into nowhere. In terms of mystery, it feels like the show is shoving too many concepts in your face at once, but in terms of romance, we've got a cute couple taking the lead. Either way, I'm hyped for season 2, and hopefully it will correct some of the flaws season 1 had.
拷問ごときには屈しはしない。
何の話だ。わしはそなたを花嫁として連れてきたのだが。
Serafina de Laviante, the toughest knight in the West, finds herself a prisoner after losing a war to the East. Expected a grim fate filled with revenge and suffering. She's thrown a curveball instead. She's offered marriage to the barbarian king. She goes expecting a barbarian, but instead finds a fellow who is very awkward at romance. This was supposed to air this season, but somehow got pushed to next year. I initially went to check the trailer thinking this was going to be an enemies to lovers romance, but turns out this is a nice and wholesome, fierce girl, awkward guy romance. I think what works here is the whole setting plus the main guy being a barbarian. I'm really curious as to what kind of story this anime will pull, so I'm keeping an eye out. Season 3 of the world's biggest harems coming back. 100 Girlfriends is one of the very few harem anime that it keeps getting a sequel back to back, and I'm definitely not complaining because this is one of the best harem rom-coms I've watched. This is about a guy who keeps getting rejected, then gets a blessing from God where he gets 100 girlfriends instead of just one. I know a lot of people are going to wonder how this story is going to juggle 100 girlfriends at once, but so far it's doing a good job. Each character gets their own character arc, and even when it's not their arc, each girl gets a time to shine. Season 3 is going to add more love interests, more comedy, and references, and I'm all in for it.
天音くんと一緒だから楽しいんです。 好きっていっぱい感じたいです。
The angel's coming back, which means we're up again for some wholesome household romance. For those who forgot, this guy decides to help a girl stuck in the rain by letting her use his umbrella. And of course, he wakes up the next day sick as a dog. But then the girl Mahiru Shina appears again, and surprise, she lives right next door. What makes Angel Next Door stand out is how much attention it gives to the main pair. Instead of wasting time on loud or distracting side characters, the story sticks with the two people who actually matter. I always thought this was going to be another 12-episode anime, so a second season announcement surprised me. But hey, if this means more anime wholesomeness, I'm not complaining.
私が霧島東子なんです。
The Rascal Does Not Dream series is finally coming to an end. It's been a long ride, but one of the best rides I've ever experienced. This series follows Sakura Azusagawa, a guy who finds a bunny girl walking in a library. Well, turns out she's Mai Sakurajima, a famous actress with puberty syndrome. Along the way, Sakura finds a lot of other girls with the same issue and starts to help them. The Rascal series has always been a masterpiece because of its writing, but what really hooked everyone to it was the relationship between Sakura and Mai. I know it wasn't focused a lot on some of the sequel movies, but that was quickly covered up by the new characters we got, such as the Santa girl we got this year. I'm sad to see the series end, but it's gonna be ending on a movie, and it's gonna be one heck of an emotional movie.
あなた、クスシって聞いたけど、どれほどの腕前なのかしら。
Just like Dan was a big surprise in 2024, Apothecary Diaries became the unexpected hit of 23. It follows Mao Mao, a super sharp girl in ancient Japan who's just trying to mind her own business before getting dragged into palace problems and ending up as a concubine. Instead of moping around, she uses her skills to figure out a weird sickness spreading in the castle, which makes Jinchi, a fancy and important official, take notice and promote her. Season 3 is bringing back that good old mystery. It's scheduled for fall 2026, so we're gonna have to wait some time, but it's going to be totally worth it. What makes the show fun is that Mao Mao isn't the usual main character who gets swept in romance. She's focused, clever, and it's entertaining watching her piece things together. 2 seasons are already out, and the series has a strong fan base, especially since it's rare to see a girl acting like a young detective in the middle of a royal drama mixed with medicine.
せめて山田杏奈の何より大切でほんの誰より特別で一部でありたい私の全部
First thought this was a sequel movie, but when I realized it was just a compilation movie, my disappointment was immeasurable and my day was ruined. Then, they said they were going to add some new scenes, plus the production quality is going to be even better, so my disappointment was gone and my day was better again. When season 1 first dropped, I almost skipped it because the plot sounded like something I'd seen a million times. But it kept surprising me again and again, and this is now one of my favorite romance anime of all time. I think everyone deserves at least a small recap of the story. This is about Yamada, a guy who has more dangerous thoughts than your average school shooter. But when he meets Anna Yamada, his thoughts start to change. At first I thought this would be way too cringy, but everything after their first interaction in the library pushed this anime really high up in my rankings. Everyone's favorite Russian waifu's coming back, and just like last time, this is the most hyped romance anime of the year. Sairi Academy is full of top students, and Aoya, the half-Russian, half-Japanese treasurer, stands out for being super smart, really pretty, and way too strict. Masachika, meanwhile, is the lazy kid who barely pays attention to anything, especially her frozen attitude. Things get funny when Aoya starts tossing out Russian flirts, assuming he can't understand, even though he totally can and doesn't know how to react. The star of the show is Aoya herself, and pretty sure she's the only person who took the internet by storm. Unlike a lot of other romance anime, I was pretty sure this was going to get a second season, and I'm so glad it's coming next year. And this season, we're focusing more on Aoya and Kuze's relationship, and less on those annoying student council elections. So grab your box of chocolates and invite Vladimir Putin to your house for a watch party, because this Russian waifu's going to dominate the 2026 charts.